Hackney, co-founder of Wonder Studios.
What's up? Upscale Malaga, here we go again. I love you guys so much. How's everyone feeling? Good? That's good, good. Lots of familiar faces here tonight. This community is growing every year, and it makes me really happy. So what do we have here? The renaissance of meaning. I've come here to shake things up a little bit. I don't want to talk about tools. I do that too often. What is the renaissance of meaning? Let's get into it. Where did emergent curiosity in the universe, like where did evolution come from? Just let you think about that for a sec. Where is this driving force of curiosity, of evolution, from the Big Bang to now? Where does it come from? Not in just nature, but in each one of you. I believe we're living in a world right now at the end of a previous age where we've never been more connected, right? We all agree, we've all got social media, we've all got WhatsApp, and yet we've never felt so detached. And this comes at a bad time, really, because we've got the infancy of this new technology, and it's causing a lot of friction, right? And it's a shame, because it's not the first time we've been here, by any means. In fact, we've been through different cycles, different renaissance periods throughout history. From the printing press, the invention of the camera, cinema, the computer. You all know this, right? And we have all felt this. And yet there's this disparity online, this polarization, whether it's political, whether it's to do with, people in the creative field. It's kind of everywhere. And it's a big shame. But every new age, every renaissance begins in this crisis, begins where there's these friction points. And right now, this is kind of the sentiment, right? This is the death of creativity. And we've heard this before. This is the death of art for photography. This is the modern fear as we go through change, rippling across time, just echoes of the same energy over and over again. But it isn't the death. I know that. I feel that. It's a transformation into the next renaissance of meaning. So what the fuck does that mean? We're going through an age now, I think, with the abundance of creativity, the access to these tools. There's already enough cat videos, etc. online, but I think we all feel like what happens when a lot of these tools allow us to kind of automate a lot of things, create a lot of things. Where do we stand? Who do we look to? Like, what is the purpose of this stuff? Where is the meaning? But that's exciting for me because I feel like we've lost that a little bit, We're in the pursuit of trying to find something a bit more deep, a bit more meaningful as we go forward. And that, for me, as well as indications from history, show that we're going through a new cycle. So what gives something meaning? And I kind of want you just to pause and think yourselves, like, what gives you meaning in life? Is it your work? Is it your family? Is it your friends? Is it your hobbies? What gives you meaning? What is your driving force? We'll get back to this later. Since I was a young kid, nano banana, by the way, I fucking love it. I kept on asking the same questions. And I'm a bit mental, so you've got to stay with me here. Why does reality exist? Why are we an on and not an off? Why did the Big Bang happen? Where did it all come from? And where does reality lead? Where do we go next? Is it in our control? Or is it just evolution? Is it just life doing stuff? What is this singularity we're talking about? What is simulation looking like? Past Genie 3 and all these tools that are going to allow us to recreate life to a certain extent where you can't tell if it's real or not. And perhaps there's even emergent properties within that, where we stand as a species going is this good or bad? Should we do this or not? But I believe the universe is just expanding. Consciousness is just expanding, if you really look at it. Where does reality lead? And what do we want it to be? That is the question, because we are steering this. Curiosity to find meaning is like the mechanism, right, of life. This kind of evolution of things to change, to mutate, to emerge. It kind of, at least in humanity, in our consciousness, it kind of spawns, it's like the driving force of evolution, of a lot of things, at least in our cultural evolution. A lot of things are driven by meaning. That's why you have religion, right? It's why you have music. It resonates deeply. And right now, we're kind of surface level. So I'm here to remind you that you're not just a participant of reality, if you really think about it. You're not just here watching the show of life as an individual. You're made of the same bits and bobs of reality itself, and you are the universe, experiencing itself for a moment through human eyes, through your body. And this is how we've gone on to do incredible things. So who the fuck am I talking this stuff, and what have I been smoking? So my life I grew up as an actor, as a kid. It was the first time I saw a film set on a film called 28 Days Later. I saw Danny Boyle. I don't know if you know this director, but he was incredible. His crew, his screenwriters, everything was fantastic. And as a kid, watching them work, I knew I didn't want to act. I wanted to make films. I wanted to understand what the editor was doing. I wanted to understand the art directing. I wanted to understand the DOP and all the lens he was using. I needed to figure it all out, and I was young. But I was driven to find out these things because I'm curious. That is my pull. I follow curiosity. That is my drive. And after 15 years of winning awards, doing advertising, doing documentaries, doing music videos, kind of exploring and trying to understand it all, I knew that there was two things that interested me. One, craft, authenticity, humans, documentary, or that feeling when you're working on a music video and you're all feeding back off each other. That kind of loop of creativity was exciting. Then I got a call from OpenAI. It's all a bit squished here. Something's gone wrong. I got a call from OpenAI about 3.5 years ago. Very small team at this point. They had not gone public. DALL-E 2 was still in experimental phase, and there was 20 artists alongside me trying to understand what these tools meant and how the engineers could continue to develop them so that they were better for creativity. We rolled out the first 2,000 artists, signed them up, and there was no NDAs. It was crazy, right? You've got OpenAI, Stability AI, and that was it, right? The beginning of this generative movement. I quit my job. I set up a company called Real Dreams. It's a community, and lots of people here tonight are in that community. Whoop, whoop. And to those who are here, it really is this bubble, guys. It's small, just by being here right now, you're in that 0.00001% of people on Earth right now that had at least the pull, the meaning, the drive to come here, to understand, to connect, to find people, to collaborate, because this is important and you want and will shape it. I'll move on. 11 labs, again, 24 people working in the company. I loved their mission. It was about giving people the option to have content dubbed and understood in any language. Incredible, because I thought, wow, if we're moving forward to a new age where we have all these incredible stories from all these different places around the world, wouldn't it be great if I could understand them? And I'll get into Wonder in a bit. Through that process, and Matty, I don't know if you were here tonight, I had the pleasure of setting up or co-hosting loads of film competitions, some with 11 labs and Pika, and then when Matty showed up and he had the idea of Project Odyssey, it's going through to season 1 to season 2, we had over 4,500 submissions, and I was blown away by the amount of people who were just basically being quiet online, not talking about doing their films, not talking about using these tools, But that competition gave them that opportunity. And suddenly, there was this vast community. But I must admit, like, you know, out of all the films that we saw, a very small percentage of them were actually any good. And that was kind of a hard blow, but also a really kind of uplifting feeling, both at the same time, this duality. Like, okay, wow, it takes a lot of craft to make a good film. And not only that, it takes even more for me to feel something deeper about the film or the creator behind it. And again, it kind of bottles down to, like, what's your intention here? What's your meaning? Like, what's the purpose of you doing this? Because I think that the quality bar of AI now and what you can do clearly blows a lot of things out the water. And that's where the fear comes from. It's easy now to do things yesterday it was hard to do, right? And if you're in production advertising, you get that. You know the unlock of this, but also, wow, does that mean everyone is going to be an incredible filmmaker? No, not everyone can play guitar, even if you have access to it. Not everyone can sing, even though you all have a voice, right? It's a very few people that have that energy, or at least that persistence to keep on trying and learning and exploring and understanding. It's that curiosity and that reach that helps them become who they are, make great pieces of art, right? So I saw firsthand how OpenAI and how 11 Labs scaled really quickly, but not only just the scale, but the effect it was having on different industries. Like at 11 Labs, there was thousands of enterprise customers. What I mean by that is people who are using the API to build their new company, right? As a layer amongst many other things that they're doing. And that was fascinating. I could see firsthand, wow, the industry is evolving before my eyes. This is happening so quickly. But alas, I had to continue my dreams. I had to push forward. And after a year, I left, and backed by 11 Labs and someone from OpenAI and some great investors like Local Globe and lots of great angels, Wonder was born. Wonder is an AI studio, right? We make films, we explore stuff, we have a competition, et cetera, but really when we talk to each other as a team, like what are we trying to do here? What are we trying to achieve here? Really bottle it down, like what do we want people to feel when they look at a company? And that's that we want to help shift the needle, and we want to be part of this cultural movement. We're not a tech startup, right? We're humans exploring these tools, trying to find new ways to connect, collaborate, and come together, right? Can we sound on? No sound?
Get it up and running. I think let's actually just set up the company and found something together.
Every story begins with a dream, and 3 years ago that dream was a community. It started with a small group of filmmakers, artists and technologists, all exploring these tools together. And on that journey, I met Xavier and Cam, and the idea of Wonder started to form. Since then, we've collaborated with the leading AI tech partners, artists, and studios to show what's possible when craft and innovation move together.
That is not supposed to wobble.
And now a new chapter begins. We've just raised a 12 million seed round led by Atomico with some incredible partners like Adobe. Together, we're building the creative infrastructure for a new generation of storytellers. From a grassroots movement to a global studio, this is Wonder, and the journey has just begun.
So that's us. Oh, thank you. The future of storytelling, just to get back into kind of, business mode, is here, A lot of people here because they're creatives. You're excited about what this means for film and the arts. The world is full of noise, right? And I think right now, if you're to stand out making film, it's about grabbing people's attention, or for longevity, if you really want to win people over, not just a quick bang online, just to get like a knee-jerk reaction to people seeing this technology. If you want to show something deeper, more meaningful, it's got to be led by intention and meaning. And I think you know deep down when you're making work if it's coming from that sort of source. We're the bridge between the industry, the technology, the creatives. We don't want to be disruptive. We're not here to replace Hollywood. We're not here to freak people out. We're quite the opposite. We want to connect, right? And I believe that there's enough of a market moving forwards, not just in these spaces and the industries we know now, but into the new ones that will emerge. There's enough of a market for everyone to win. And I really believe that's what's going to happen. We're going through a renaissance. We're going through a new golden age and an enlightenment period. And that comes with prosperity. It comes with lots of new things. And I just hope that it comes a little bit more now with that intention, that meaning, that craft, and that collaboration. Because these tools do allow you to do a lot of great things just by yourself in the bedroom, on your computer, on your phone, on the toilet, right? You can make a movie by yourself. And we have done, I've done that. Like, it's great. There's a limit, though. You get there, and you want to work with people. You want to collaborate, you know. We're humans, after all. We want to hang out. We want to feedback off each other. The same way I love a back and forth with GPT, or I love to go on to FreePick and back and forth with Nano Banana or whichever tool until I kind of find stuff that's good. That feeling we want with humanity, and I think a big fear moving forward is that could be lost because of these tools allow us to express ourselves alone. Once you reach that point, you know your limit and you go, hang on a sec, I want to do that stuff that I can do by myself, but I want to find other people that align with those principles, align with my intentions and meaning. And that is really what Wonder is, right? That is what Real Dreams as the community was, right? It's about those connections and the people that keep showing up. And a lot of those people, for me, are here in this room, and that's how I know I'm on the right path. I'm going to glaze over this, but we've got a new app, and it's just a way to connect, right, to other people in this space. If you're trying to find a job, trying to find some help with some tools, or you're trying to find someone to work on a project. It's very early days, but we set this up so that hopefully the community can grow. I'm just going to skip past. So, and through that, you know, through Wonder and some of the connections we've made and the partnerships over the years, we've had the incredible opportunity recently of working on some pretty crazy projects, which feel a bit more mainstream, but the beautiful thing about it was like this particular headliner I saw. So this is Lewis Capaldi. He's a big artist, right? And we knew that by putting this out, we were going to get a lot of backlash, right? There's going to be a lot of hate online. Looking for this AI slop, it's everywhere, right? But this really touched me. It wasn't the biggest piece on it, but someone said it's got, 8 million subscribers. It was made with AI, but no one really seemed to care anymore. And that was huge. I was really expecting a lot of backlash, right? From the industry, from the people, his super fans, but people just didn't care. There was a bit of back and forth, but there were people, just normal people, coming in and saying, does it really matter anymore? Like, the song is fantastic, the visuals accompany that. Why are we debating about tools anymore? It was fantastic. I got to see it go up in Times Square. A huge campaign they did around the world with it. And off the back of that and that collaboration with Google, we got to work with Taylor Swift on the life.
I need you to take a seat right now.
Swiftie fans, man, they love this shit.
Y'all are gonna lose your damn minds when I show you this
So we
video.
had 12 doors around the world. Anyone could scan a QR code. They got to see a film. A lot of people in this room helped me actually make these. And the idea was that the audience was finding clues within these spaces to unlock a Swiftie prize. Who knows, right? But it was a lot of fun, and we had to do it fast turnaround. Why am I showing this? I think it's because the industry is embracing this now, right? Some big artists, some big studios. For example, hopefully this project with Campfire Studios, one of the biggest documentary makers, best stuff on the Netflix. We've worked with them to, reimagine what documentary looks like. Can you now unlock new ideas, new scripts, right? because AI allows you to go back in time, do those recreation. You know, when you're watching an interview and they're talking, oh, this happened, that, blah, and you're going back in time, right, to the 90s or wherever, Cleopatra, it doesn't really matter. AI now allows you to unlock those stories because typically, if you wanted to go, say, shoot in a space that looked like Cleopatra, you need a massive VFX and art direction budget. Like, that's not going to happen. And what we're finding within the industry is that a lot of studios and filmmakers at the top and the bottom are really excited about what this unlocks for creativity. I think we're talking about the tools now, but I think next year we're going to be talking about the best stories that come out, right? And there will be awards for the works that people probably in this room are going to make. I'm going to skip past this, just move on. So Wonder's a launch pad for undiscovered talent, like with a movement, right? So what does that mean? We have to make money. We also really wanted to just develop IP. A studio, if you're DreamWorks, if you're Lionsgate, if you're Warner Brothers, whatever, the idea is that you find great talent, you find great stories, you find finances, and you make those projects happen. And because I had a background kind of with the film competitions, etc., we use these as an opportunity to find great talent in the space, come to them and say, listen, we've got some money here, and we've got some support from some people in the traditional space as well. Let's take your AI film or a new idea to the next level, right? And what I want to do also is document it, because people still don't realize how much craft goes into these things. Some people think an AI film is a one-click button and boom, you got it, and they complain about it online. The truth is, it's people. And each of these projects took a couple of months. I mean, it's, you know, we're figuring it out, but they took a couple of months. We have actually done 5 now for the first season, but I had the opportunity to kind of work with different creators with different visions. And I'm just going to show you the original trailer we did before the films were actually made with some of the test footage, and then maybe some of the behind the scenes with the creators. I can move on.
How many times will you pretend this is the first time?
This is a new era for our society.
We got a champion lining up next.
Give me the brush.
So excited. Guys, I can't tell you, like this, for me, thank you. This, for me, has always been the dream. Going back to when I was a kid asking all these questions, I was watching stuff like The Twilight Zone, Outer Limits. Then Black Mirror turned up, and I saw Love, Death, Robots, and all these things. And I was like, wow, this is really what I want to do. I want to kickstart a new series where I can continue to travel the globe, finding great talent, finding pockets of money and support from the craft, and spin up these ideas so that for the first time in history, a studio and a creator can own something 50-50. You're not selling your idea and getting a worse deal. You're owning it as a creator. And we're trying to find creators who are building worlds, you know, want to not just make a film, but make a series, or make a film that could be a long form, right? This is behind the scenes for the first.
The moment that the tools were good enough, couldn't help myself but make it, because it was trapped in my mind and I had to tell this story. Icona is dark, Icona is brutal, it's graphic, it's all these dark desires and energies that are bubbling deep down in every person, I believe. The entire thing is like a twisted version of my subconscious.
Okay, well, don't know what happened there, but we'll move on. You get the idea for that one. There's a few more.
Dr. Turner, you come in with us.
I'm Nick Kleberoff, and this is Memory Maker. Memory Maker is an idea I've had for a really long time as we enter this future world where AIs are taking on more and more. What does that do to us as humans? My film explores a future where androids rule, but they want to know what it's like to be human. And if the machines achieve humanity through the feelings, through the pain, it might be really hard to delineate, and that's what I wanted to explore. The fact that Memory Maker is now coming to life in this way is incredible. If you're creative with a story to tell, using some of these tools to bring it to life in a way that wouldn't have been possible even a few years ago, it's pretty damn exciting.
Entering authorized city limits.
Nick is a genius, and what's great about these projects is I get, like, if you can see, I get the opportunity to go and hang with these guys, you know, guys and girls. I get to go out there, hang with them, talk about this technology, discuss the film. You know, this guy is a new age filmmaker, right? A new Martin Scorsese or whatever. Like, he's just had a film greenlit, 30 million or something, right? Incredible. And this is what I like to see. I love to see people in this space and people I get to collaborate with succeed. I love it. I've loved to see the success of Free Pick grow. I've loved to see Promise, Dave Clark, the Door Brothers, Astera, Moon Valley, like everyone like flourishing, Grail, like meeting these people, my heroes in this space, getting to talk to them even alone is fantastic. Getting to collaborate with them, even better. This is another one.
Hi, I'm Dina.
I'm Melody.
And we are Ethereal Moon.
It's not something we reproduce from something existing. It's something completely new we made with AI. And that is not something we could have made with 3D or stop motion or whatever. It's a pure AI style. In The Hill, we're exploring themes of resurrection, cycle of life.
We're exploring empathy and compassion, seeing life through the eyes of everybody living it and how that looks different for everybody.
Happy or not, memories are just memories, actually.
I was drawn to the story of The Hill from Melody's interest in reincarnation.
And also exploring the depths of consciousness. What is it really?
I've been here the whole time, my love, watching from this lake, the lake of the unborn.
Great film, great creators. Thank you. Again, like, I tasked them because they just came, they're fantastic, and they've won some awards before, and I just love them. They were new to the creative space. They weren't creatives before AI, all right? And they just dived in, and they were doing well, and they were winning some awards and doing some commercials, and I just loved their story and their energy, and their work was separately, individually, their work slightly different, but they come together, and they had this mashup style, and I just said to them, like, look, try and create something with meaning, explore something deeper. I don't care about anything glossy, photorealistic, whatever. I want you to pour something from yourselves into it. And they did. It hurt them. It took them ages. You know, it was a struggle, like any good craft is. It was a struggle. But what they got out of it was fantastic.
I'm Noah Miller, and this is The Drift. The Drift is a sci-fi action film about two brothers who have taken two different paths in their lives, and they meet in space. All their family stuff kind of comes out in this moment. This is a hybrid film. We're using both live action and AI, which is like always my goal with AI. I've done a few other short films. Did a thing for the 30th anniversary of Alien, where we did a short called Alone for that, which was really cool. I love working with crews. I think it's more important than anything else. I actually think most directors are made by their crews who have a wealth of knowledge. So the human element's incredibly important.
Put your hand up if you have made a traditional commercial music video or film. Okay. What was great about this process was we would get to explore both, the hybrid approach. Now, a lot of people think AI works are just purely generative anyway, but and there's no human around it, but it's all hybrid, right? Because it's you or a group of people with a piece. But this was a true hybrid production, and it was great to see Noah pushing the bar, what was possible, and to actually, after all this time, like 2 years, actually be on a set again. So, we've raised 15 million in total, with the latest 12 million round, and people ask me all sorts of questions, what I'm going to do with the money, what we're going to, what the plan is. It's really not about the money. Obviously, that's a stupid thing to say, but like I mean this. It's really about that movement and that where creativity, technology kind of converge, and the investment isn't into anything crazy. It's really just into people, right? We're just trying to find the best people in this space, people who kind of get it, people who are bold enough to ask bigger questions or to push forward with more meaning, with more intention. They kind of get the collective vision. And they're big and bold enough to ask, like, what if? Like, maybe we can steer this thing. So I just want to bring it back to the beginning and the point of meaning, because we now live in a world with so many distractions, and AI makes you go, well, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this, I want to do everything, right? So, and you will. You have the opportunity to do it all. But close your eyes and just think for one moment that thing that gives you meaning. What does it look like? How do you feel? Are there other people there with you? Really try and bottle that, because by doing that, you're kind of manifesting. You're fine-tuning your brain like an AI with intention. And the more you do that, the more those doors will open, those people will find you. This is not a technological, revolution, renaissance, whatever. It's not here to create the meaning. Humans are. And so this next Renaissance period isn't digital. It's not about robots or AI. It's about you guys, right? So hold on to that meaning. It's been great to be here. Thank you very much. Let's see you soon. Thank you.